Bonjour à tous.
Hello.
Première question, j'ai entendu dire que le groupe était né suite à un problème de voix. Vous pouvez nous expliquer?
My voice had the problem, as usual. I was losing my voice and had a slip disc in my neck. I was in bad shape, and Allison was on tour with us, so she took over singing my songs for the Raconteurs tour. Raconteurs were on tour at the Kills, and next thing we knew, the last day of the tour, we were pretty exhausted, and we ended up in my studio recording. The four of us ended up recording, and we didn't really know why.
Au début, vous partiez uniquement pour enregistrer un 45 tours. Que s'est-il passé?
What happened?
Yeah, what did happen?
Well, we were just going to do a 7-inch that night, and we kind of wrote 5 songs really quickly, and then next time I had time off, I went back to Nashville to finish them, and suddenly we had a whole record, so that it was kind of accidental.
Comment sont nées les chansons? Beaucoup d'impro?
We did for this record. I mean, this record was made completely in my studio, so we didn't come with any pre-written songs. So we had to play and discover them, and let them come out because we didn't have much time, really. We didn't have that luxury, which was great. It forced a lot of these songs to come to life that maybe we would have put aside for a while and taken a long time and overthought and overproduced and all that stuff.
Pensez-vous que votre spontanéité a contribué à la réussite de cette union?
Yeah, I think so. You have to force things to struggle at times. You have to force things to come out. I don't think any of us are about taking it easy on this record or this performing live.
Et c'était excitant d'aller dans l'inconnu en enregistrant cet album?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was exciting for me to play with 3 people, because I've been in a duo forever, and so it's really been an interesting experience,
Vous pensez avoir eu une vraie liberté artistique? Il n'y avait rien de planifié, c'est juste arrivé comme ça.
Yeah, I don't think we would have planned to do this band or this album. Like if you'd talked to us last fall, what are you doing next 6 months or a year? I don't think any of us would have guessed it was going to be this. But I think that's good for the music, good for the art, because if you get in the way of it and tell it to not happen, or you can't happen right now because we're busy, great things can get lost, and great songs and great performances can get lost. So I don't want to stand in the way of it. I don't think anybody in the band would want to stand in the way of something interesting happening. So here we are in France playing for you.
Comment définiriez-vous votre style musical? Du plaisir? Que du plaisir?
None of the above. It's for me. I'm speaking personally. You can go and ask them later, but it's pleasure seems to be last on the list. I don't even know if I can meld the two together. I would like to know that secret, that trick of melding pleasure and music at the same time. I think I used to have it when I was a teenager, but ever since then, I think it's just been struggle. I got so obsessed with struggle that I don't even know how to get there anymore, to pleasure. But do you want to answer that too? Give the positive side of it for regular...
Positive, normal, regular person's side?
Yeah, no, not your regular. For people who would like to hear that. there's pleasure too.
Well, it's just another kind of creative expression, isn't it? Another way of making art. And so for me, that's really important, and that's probably what I'd call pleasure. That's all I'd want to do. Some people think it's really hard work, or I don't know, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Pleasure in seeing the finished record, an actual physical record. That's a pleasure for me, but then it doesn't last long because you have to hurry up and make another one.
Et toi, Dean?
There were a lot of aspects about it for me that were nice. Personally, be able to play guitar a little bit more was nice. But really, just to work with these guys, and the fact that it was so unexpected and that it yielded such an exciting result.
Comment expliquez-vous cette alchimie entre vous 4?
Last night we played at La Cigale, and the crowd was incredibly energetic and electric, and it seemed like they don't know any of the songs, you know, so I don't know how they're just responding so incredibly. It makes us feel like we've been doing this for 10 years, and sometimes during certain songs I look over and I'm like, I can't, we just started, and it feels like we've been playing for years together on stage. It's ridiculous, and we found some common ground really fast. I mean, and I think that's why it can turn into an album, turn into a band, because if we hadn't found so much common ground or so much new area that we all wanted to attack, that it would have just been a single or 7-inch, and we would have moved on back to what we were already doing.
Musicalement, peut-on dire que The Dead Weather se situe en dessous de la ceinture?
Is it up here or down low? Down low.
Maybe both. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You could attack it in a couple of different ways, but there's definitely a sense that this band feels. There's a sexuality and eagerness to it, a dangerousness to it, and an electricityness to it, you know, all those feelings and words combining, you know. They're forming new words for us, I think.
En fait, c'est comme ça que je le ressens. Des rythmiques bien sales.
Yeah, it is, It's a lot of the songs can't be found on any of our other bands' records, you know.
Il y a un cinquième élément qui a beaucoup joué, c'est le studio. Vous pouvez nous en parler? Je crois que tu viens juste de le finir.
Yeah, I did just build it, finally got a chance to build a studio from scratch. In a sense, finally. I mean, nobody gets to do this. It's very fortunate that I was able to be able to do this. And so I took great care into putting each panel and making it incredibly special as possible, and taking a lot of risks and hoping they would pay off. You know, I mean, it's dangerous when you're playing with acoustics and sound. You don't know what you're going to get. You can do all the math and architecture in the world and whatever, and you might end up with a room that sounds terrible. So we got very fortunate with all the chances we took, and the studio has a lot of character, and I think you can hear it in this Whorehound album.
Le son de l'album est vraiment sale. Il s'est imposé naturellement?
Yeah, I mean, I think the studio and the gear that we played on, and whatever was laying around, what we were using, and the fact that we were recording on 8 tracks, that's all there was, you know, and the spontaneity and the fact that we did it all live, and everything was so quick and so kind of out of control and exciting like that. And I think that was, I think that was captured on tape.
Oui, parce que vraiment ça sonne live. Vous avez un son vraiment incroyable.
Thank you, yeah. Feels good.
Jack, l'album sort sur Soundman Records, le label que tu viens de lancer. Tu peux nous en parler?
Yeah. Well, it's a label I've had for a number of years, but I never actually had a physical location before now. And we built a headquarters in Nashville, and it's a pretty incredible place so far. We put out a lot of new records from new artists, Mildred and the Mice, Rochelle Garnier, and Dexter Romweber. And The Dead Weather is the first band and album to come out of this system. And it's people coming through town that I produce and work with in the studio, and then we take the photographs at the photo studio at Third Man. And we press them at United Pressing Plant a couple blocks away. It comes out on MP3 and iTunes at the same time. And we actually sell the record in the record store right there. There's also a dark room and magnetic tape, cold storage, and it has just everything I could think of that I do for a living under one roof. But also with a team of people that are really good at what they do and love vinyl and love music and love the preservation of music in a tangible form, as well as putting it out on the internet as well.
Et peut-on dire que Soundman Records, ton label, est aussi un lieu de création?
It is, yeah. I want it to be a place that inspires the people who come through there to do something else, you know, do something new and add something more to the canon of it. You know, there's a lot of records coming out this year, a lot of records. I'm going next week to work on 3 more, and there'll be 12 more by the time the year's out, and hopefully we'll be able to go back on other records I've produced in the past that are out of print and bring those all back to life. I would like to have any record I'm ever a part of to always be in print. Even if only 5 people want it, I want it to be on a shelf somewhere where you can get it. I hate out-of-print records. I think it's ridiculous, you know.
J'adore le slogan de votre label. Votre platine n'est pas morte. Vous vous battez pour la survie du vinyle?
Yes, and I think that other people are doing it as well. You know, in America, these big chain stores are adapting vinyl bins in their shops, which is incredible, and it's still alive. DJs kept it alive through the '90s, and thank God, because underground rock and roll took it over at the turn of the century, and now it's still alive. And people are repressing old records again. On higher quality. So I think that if we don't have a tangible form of music, if it's only invisible, if it's only digital, we can't see it, it's just a loss to humanity. You know?
Merci pour ça. Il y a une vidéo de vous quatre visitant une vieille manufacture de vinyle. C'est quoi cet endroit?
This is United Pressing Plant. They're just a couple blocks away from Third Man headquarters. So that's they press all of our vinyl there, and we work really closely with them, designing different special editions and limited prints and pressings. And they've been very great, and they go back 50, 60 years to Motown Records. They've been doing it a long time, and they're incredible at it. You know. We wanted to film that and show people the process of how music is put onto wax. I think it's incredible.
So cool.
Yeah.
Non, c'est vraiment super de voir l'acétate et tout le processus de fabrication du vinyle. Vous savez, les jeunes de 20 ans ne connaissent pas tout ça.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, exactly.
C'est génial. Alison, c'est une année bien remplie pour toi. Un titre avec les Last Shadows Puppet, un album avec les Dead Weather. Tu as d'autres projets?
At the moment, no. This is enough. No, just Kills and Dead Weather, really. I just did a song with them, with Last Shadow Puppets, yeah. It was nice. Here.
Et toi, Dean, tu vas lancer un projet, Hello Fire. Tu peux nous en dire quelques mots?
Yeah, I have a record that I kind of made on days off during Queen's touring last year, and so a little bit before that even. So I'll find time to put that out somewhere. But yeah, this is going to take up hopefully the whole year and maybe some of next. And Queen's will probably start writing material for their next record next year sometime.
Monsieur Laurence, quelque chose sur le feu?
The Greenhorns, a record that's finished and ready just to be put out. I think we'll work on that in the time off. And Dean and I also played on a soundtrack for a movie coming out in October called Where the Wild Things Are that Spike Jonze directed.
It's going to be a great film. We got to see, Spike Jonze showed us some clips from the movie they worked on recently. It's incredible.
It's going to be great.
Comment se passe la tournée, entamée le 11 juin dernier? Les chansons prennent-elles une autre dimension sur scène?
They are, and I hope it keeps going. Every show has been just a new pushing forward of that, and we're learning the songs in front of people. You know, we're relearning them because when we record them so fast, they're recorded and mixed before we even knew how to play them. You know, and which is great. We wanted to have that urgency and have it take on new life when we get play live. I think all of our bands we really like to live like that. It's better to live on the edge and push it forward, you know. And I'm glad we can do that.
Y a-t-il quelque chose en particulier qui vous surprend toujours depuis la formation de ce projet?
Well, that I still like Allison, that's one. That's surprising.
It is shocking.
I didn't think that was going to happen, but, you know, when in Rome.
Yeah. Be nice.
Alison, tu chantes différemment au sein de ce groupe. Quelle est pour toi la différence majeure?
No, there's a drummer and not a drum machine. I mean, that changes everything, really. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't have noticed that I was singing differently because I just feel like I'm singing, you know. It's hard to tell. The music's different, you know. There's lots of space in it. There's lots of...
I don't think the music changed. I think you changed.
I changed? Oh.
Je crois que c'est la rythmique des Jacks.
I don't know, it's quite aggressive, the music, you know, it's quite dark and aggressive, so it's just what happened when they were playing. That's how I just sing like that so they could hear me, because they're so damn loud. I'm kidding. Pretty loud.
Jacques, tu retournes à ton premier amour, la batterie.
Yeah, it's incredible to come home, you know. It's been about 15 years since I played live on tour, and, you know, I think Allison was born the year I quit playing drums.
What?
So it's nice to have that come together at her graduation party. The Dead Weather's playing her graduation next week, so.
Can I invite all my friends?
Yes.
Not that Bobby. I don't trust that kid.
He likes to watch fire.
Really?
Vous chantez ensemble sur 2 titres, vos voix se marient à merveille. Peut-on s'attendre à plus sur le second album?
I think so. I mean, we didn't. Some of those songs we didn't really plan on. They just sort of accidentally became duets, and you know, like even the last song on the album, "Enough Water." LJ plays drums on that song, which kind of shows you we had no plans for that. I was even going to be the drummer of this band because there was no band. So I think that the more we record, the more we have a lot more options. I mean, Dean's a singer in his own right. He hasn't even opened his mouth yet on these recordings yet.
Mais la bonne nouvelle, c'est qu'il y aura donc un deuxième album des Dead Weather.
Of course.
Yeah.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you.